Welcome back, my gardening friends, and welcome to my 3,000 subscribers giveaway. There's one or two prizes. One of the prizes will be a roll of debris netting to help cover your brassicas or whatever else you want to use it for. I've also got a pollen bee nest that I can perhaps send to my friends across the pond or wherever else you live around the world. Now there's 6 questions. We'll be doing a tour. Anyone that's a close follower to my channel will find all the answers. Well, I've got all the answers already, mainly due because I've told you what they are. So that gives my followers, regular followers, the best chance of winning the prizes. It doesn't matter whether you're a subscriber or not, because I have loads and loads of just viewers. They're all welcome. Everyone's welcome to my channel. And the people who put the thumbs down, they're also welcome. So shortly we'll be going a little tour round. I'm going to dive into all the nooks and crannies that you don't normally see. And I hope that this video will be of interest to anyone who watches this after the premiere. Now, some people may be able to comment, some people won't. So after this video is finished, leave me a comment afterwards, and then you'll find my email address in the description, and you can fire all 6 answers to me. If you've got 4, just send 4, because you don't know whether you may have more than anyone else. Now I'll try and answer these. I'm going to try and write all these answers down as we go. If I get into a bit of a mess, then everybody may have to just email me, but I'll see how I go. Not sure whether I'm going to be able to comment, but I'll certainly, hopefully, as that's as long as I can actually see your comments. But I believe there is a box just below to be able to click on so that you can actually comment on the videos. I've been on one premiere video before, and it was a nightmare. I thought there wasn't any comments coming, but actual fact, I think I should have pressed the button again. Hopefully we've already had conversations about half an hour before, but like I say, I'm just winging it, I ain't sure. So, first question. As you probably see, I've damaged my wrist recently, more of a repetitive strain injury. I'm right-handed though. But first question is, what caused this to my arm on my allotment? So get your answer down. Everyone should know exactly what it is. Just before about the Wednesday before the 18th and 19th of September. So let's go and have a little tour, and that was question number 1. I'm not going to tell you what question number 2 is till we get there. This is going to be fun, guys. So we may as well start in the polytunnel, and these are the carrots from over the summer. Most of these are from June, and again I'm going to see how long they'll last. And we've got turnips, potatoes, we've got the seed potatoes in here somewhere, the robotic sarpos. We're still catching a few mice. I am having problems with rats. We'll look at that shortly. Oh, grapevine. Looks good at the moment. We did lose one last year, which is that one there. Oh, I wonder if that's their buds. Now that'll be interesting, guys, if that's coming back. They do look like fresh buds. So we've got some more plastic drums. These plastic drums will be going along this side, and try not to dart you about too much. we'll have a raised bed straight through the middle now with an insulated area at that end using the hot tub cover, the old hot tub cover, and then the clamp will be built into here. I think that'll be a better idea. So if I lose stuff this year, but next year I'll have a better plan, better idea. And this is all through comments. If you comment, it always gives me an idea, or comment and say that's rubbish. We're now at the my 3 compost bins. These have been here since day one. You would have seen these on my first ever video. So this is the manure bin, and the manure bin is lined, and all the juices flow out into there, and it's surprising what juices you get from the manure, and it's lovely black stuff. This bay here is the spent compost that comes out of the potatoes. It's had the compost that I'll get off the side of the road mixed with the compost bin, leaf mould, etc. And as you can see, I've been using some already. This is the bin I use for the compost that I find on the side of the road. This is the ones that you saw with the white bits in. It'll come to me in a minute. Come on, get a grip, guy. Go on, I suppose somebody will comment there. Vermiculite, not vermiculite, the other one. Go on, somebody will tell me. We don't come behind the polytunnel very often, and these are the strawberries. I originally had the alpine strawberries, but they didn't do very well. And this is the volunteer pumpkin that the mice planted for me. I haven't been down around here for ages. Look at this moss. Oh, look at the mess. Now these are the lampshades I use, and I've started wash some of them. That's the brush. Now remember, you get all in the car accessory packs, you always get this brush. This is an absolutely brilliant brush around the allotment, because you don't normally use it on your car when you connect it to the hose pipe. So I'm always finding those, and yeah, job to do. But like I say, we do have mess. This is we're going behind the shed now. We've got the 2 IBCs here, which are now both full. I've drained them slightly for expansion of ice. Underneath here we've got 4 more blue barrels full of water. We've done quite well with water. This is a nice little storage area. Here's a few of the ones that we've covered. Now if you slip this onto the other one without the cardboard toilet roll between, they jam tight. Real big job to get them off. And a few pots around here, bits and bobs. These are the lampshades I've never used, and they're really difficult to separate. And it's my urine collecting area, ready for use around the allotment. Went from a tidy shed to an untidy shed. Unfortunately, that's how it does go. I do manage to keep on top of the recyclable items, and I've just bought another bag up today, and I think there's a few nice little... That tinkling in there is a new kettle. But I have got to get on top of this again, but there's other things that take priority. And if you thought that shed was bad, let's see this one. Manic. This is what you don't normally see, but yeah, I do get into a bit of a state sometimes. So we're at the top part of the plot. This is where I wash the vegetables. Now that might look murky to you, but there's good quality soil in there that I don't lose by taking it home on the vegetables. And there's some bits to go to the tip, etc. Remember the peas? Pea supports, they're still going strong, and it looks like we're almost full there, so I can actually turn the pipe on now and top these barrels up. This is the wildlife pond on plot 3. No fish in there, just ideal for the wildlife, coming together nicely. Question: what is this? All I'll say is an underground, and then you've got two more words. It's an underground. Setting my own seed for the giant vegetables there. And anyone who's been watching recently will know that I've been collecting some materials. I've pinched the top off that. But these are the dahlias in here, with the stalk still attached. Kept them covered. Still got a bit damp though. There's the stalk. Top of the sweet peppers. Will they survive? This is the next year's brassica bed. There's plenty of muck under there and topped off with cardboard. I don't like to use black plastic. It just doesn't let the soil breathe. The soil from out of the potatoes is in those bags because that bin, as you've already seen, is completely full. So I've left that in there. Must try another muley radish. That muley radish was absolutely brilliant. And as you can see, when I go no dig, these are going to go into the no dig beds in that format. Anybody who hasn't seen these are cuttings and bits and bobs that I've taken from another plot when we actually cleared it of all the fruit. This pipe's in the way. It's part of the water movement around my plot. Now the brassica cage is going here. I've had to take those three posts out. They'll have to go here, so we'll have to redirect it in a different direction to keep these barrels full. There's two barrels around the back. Just keeping those carrots dry. If you remember, I've covered them over with compost. Having second thoughts about these Jerusalem artichokes now directly in the ground, even though they're protected, because these are giving me more than enough Jerusalem artichokes for what I need. Did one parsnip reveal, and unfortunately the core was very, very hard, even for this time of the year, before the first frosts. So I'm doing another reveal soon and cutting it open to see whether it's actually hard before, it might have been in the fridge too long, I'm not sure. Broad beans are doing well. We've got another nook and cranny here that you don't normally see. Got some thin pipe that you've probably seen before, some netting and wire. Just a nice little place to keep a few of the knickknacks. And just round the back there is a little bit tight, guys. We'll get there. These are the pots that I found on the side of the road that had original, no compost in it, but I do try and keep a few of the baskets here, and those are the fruit bottles. Keep them out the sunshine, they should last a bit longer. But yeah, the cannabis growers, they only used them once and they chucked them all, but great benefit to my allotment. As you can see, I use them everywhere. Putting my stones in and growing things in. For any new viewers, this is my onion cage. I've got some garlic in the back that was given to me kindly by Mike Hurdis, and I've got my electric red onions there, and we'll be doing an update on all the onions I've got growing at home in the grow room. I've kept half the Swedes in the ground, half of them are in the clamp. As always, the rainbow chard keeps giving. I cut all these right down and they've just started sprouting again. It's best to cut them down and have another go, because once they start going to seed, they're no good for anyone. I've got a couple of giant red cabbages left. These are some of the leeks that I've got, and looks like that's going to seed. It's a shame, I shall have to get that one out. And I don't want to even talk about the brassicas, that'll be a separate video. Oh, I hate whitefly. So we're in the fruit cage now. I've just noticed that the rhubarb started to grow again. I never take the leaves off, I always let the leaves die back, feeds the crowns, and the summer fruiting raspberries have all been cut back now. That's this year's growth, and after watching one or two videos, I'm going to prune all the red and black currants, but I don't like messing about with anything until all the leaves have dropped, and then I can actually tidy all this up ready for the main part of the winter months here in the UK. So we're now at plot 1. There used to be hashtags starting a new allotment, and during the summer we didn't get no fruit at all of this one. So I've tied all the branches up, and these will be left to next year to see what sort of fruit they may be. But later on, perhaps January time, I'll be cutting all these back. I do like to wait for all the raspberry canes, for all the good ones to drop down into the crowns, so it produces new shoots next year. I'll come up to the top of the plot now. This is where I try and keep all the storage for some of the liquid plant foods, etc. And we've never been up behind here, guys, hold tight. And this is where I keep all the lengths of guttering that I get given to me or I ask for. And originally I cut this hedge right back, and hopefully it won't grow too much. Now I've restricted the light. Just been having a look at the bin, seeing what it's the material's all like, and it looks like the rats have got in. Now there's a lot of plastic missing, so I think they may have built a nest in here. And rookie mistake, look at that little gap there. It's probably the thickness of my finger, and that's where they've come in. Some lovely stuff in here there. Question 3. So what is this actually called? Now everyone who knows me will know exactly what I call this. This is a courgette, a rather large courgette. All the rest went mouldy, yet this one's still doing well. I'm hoping to save some of the seeds from that. Still haven't done anything with these this material from the trommel. It's a lot of good stuff, but this will probably go in a runner bean trench. The trommel there, done a real good job. These two drums have been sat here for a while. We're talking about those later. I think this one is the nettle. And this is the comfrey bin. All the stragglers go in there. I need to get that sorted. That is full of comfrey plant food. This one's full of nettle plant food. That'll be full of water. That drum's full. I've got to get my pump round here. I'll show you that. That's the that's what actually drives the trommel. It runs off the steel roller, spins that, and spins that. Works great. Done a bit of tidying up. It's good to mark all the tubs so I know what they are. Again, this corner's there's a few nicks and knacks. Of course, I got that out of a skip. But yeah, it's just a few bits and bobs in there. Wormer is redundant now, but I've still got some plant food there. There's the banana. This is the banana bin, if anybody doesn't know. That's definitely not one of the questions now, is it? The old leaf mould, doing really well. This is last year's. Can't get better, guys. I'm going to leave one of these bins another 12 months and then riddle it, just to see what we actually get from it. This is the comfrey patch, and this is where I throw a few stones, a few twigs. More water butts here. I must find a suitable place to put the glass. More wonderful leeks. Now, to me, these look really good leeks, but they were completely destroyed by allium leaf miner. What did I do to these leeks? That's the next question. What did I do to these leeks to get them to come like this? So that was question number 4. Reuse, recycle. This was outside somebody's house, and I've reconnected a pipe. I cut a bit of a hole in it, and now this runs down there into the pond. There's a couple of fish in there, lots of frogs. As you can see, it's been taken over by certain flowers, and I'm going to pull loads of them out this time. It just spoilt it. And hopefully once this is all organised down here, it'll be a place that I don't touch ever again, he says. But this runs on one of the pumps that I use to pump the water around the allotment. On 6 volts it comes out just nice, not too strong, just right. As with all my little places, this is made up of pallets, and inside is I don't know whether you can see, guys, but there's lots of bits and bobs for the animals, and in the middle of the screen there, there's a bird actually nested. Not going to get that properly, but yeah, that's one of the places I've done something. And under here as well, that's this, and got bricks and debris and all sorts under there for the animals. And if you remember, there is the home for the hedgehog. I don't know whether I've got one or not, but I've put straw and everything within those panels, just recycled everything. And if you go back to hashtag starting a new allotment, you'll see what's actually under these water barrels. It was well worth putting all the little nooks and crannies for the frogs and creatures, mice and everything else. We don't mind sharing here on my allotments. Why would I have that in this greenhouse? Next question, guys. What do I use the coffee grounds and the stale urine for? So that's, what do I use the coffee grounds and the stale urine? Where do I use that? I looked at the comfrey bed. I had to nip back because I thought we'd missed something. So we've still got a few strawberries here. They'll be ideal if we need them. This is the guttering for the world record attempt for the longest parsnip, beetroot and carrot. Picked a few canes up from another allotment that had been abandoned, as with all these bits and bobs. And that plot now is totally clear, ready for somebody else. I've been busy leaf collecting. There's 3 bags there, and however many bags all the way up there, and I've collected up to yet a total of 20. Next question, guys. How many bags of leaves did I collect in 2017? I've told you several times in videos on the run up to this, so everyone should know. Spare manure bin. I built this quickly out of pallets because I wanted more manure, and I'd got absolutely loads of spent compost that I find. All nicely lined in a suitable pallet bin. It's probably end up staying there now. Bit of a mishmash, but doesn't it look better than something that's perfect? These are the dahlias that were growing here. I've piled some compost over it, and after a comment I decided to cover them up as well. So another comment that really helped me perhaps protect those dahlias. Just 1 or 2 of these strawberries not doing as well on this small one. I wasn't happy with how big the holes were, so we did this one, and the holes are a lot bigger. And I did create a top for this, but I'm going to fill that with soil to the top and put some more plants around the top. This is the strawberry tower with built-in wormery, for anybody that's watching this that hasn't seen it before. So you should have 6 questions now, hopefully. One was what actually happened to my arm. You've got the underground something or other. You saw my leaks. You saw my where the rats have been. You've seen some coffee grounds and the stale urine. Now, just in case my observant viewers have been watching all my videos and they've got all the questions right, this will be a one-off shoot-off. You've already been told about this. On the day, I think it was the 10th of November was the date that I wanted this information. Even I might have got it wrong. I've got over 3,000 subscribers now, and realistically I don't get the amount of views that I should do, but a lot of people do watch the hashtag starting a new allotment, or they'll watch the hashtag logging and storage and only sub to me because of the logging and wood burning videos. So out of the 400 and whatever many videos I've got in total, that's in total including logging and storage, what is the average views I get over every video that I've done? So some videos have got 6,000, some have got 200. What is the average views per video if you was to average it out over everything? You won't have long to find that answer, but everyone who was watching my videos early on will have already got that answer ready to throw in, and I'm not sure whether I'm right because I forgot to calculate it and I had to take a guesstimate. Well, thank you very much, my friends. If you're watching this video after the premiere, hope you just enjoyed a quick tour around into the nooks and crannies. But 3,000 subscribers is a massive milestone for me, considering I don't edit, you don't get any fancy startups or ends. I know you've got a few ads to watch, but please watch the ads or let them run. While the ad's running, just pop into the comments and read all the comments, because that's where you're going to get all the good information. And tap those comments and add your comment to it. You don't have to agree with everything we say. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.